Hey, this is Scott of theWayofCoding.com. Here's a quick video on custom views and getting the size of the screen before actually having the view fully initialized and displayed. I had seen a lot of tutorials that didn't work that way. You have to do a few special things like using a layout listener to make it happen. So we're going to go over that here. I have all the code on GitHub and my website that you can check out in the description. So here we go. We've got the main activity, we've got the layout for that activity, and then we have a view, custom view. And the main activity, we're going to link up that layout to it, which is just a pretty simple layout. I actually have two linear layouts nested. We're going to be filling this interior layout. We'll be getting a reference to it and then filling it with our custom view. Let's go back to the activity here. You can see we link up the layout with a linear layout object. So we get that reference there by using the find view ID, pretty standard stuff. And then we initialize our custom view, but we don't do anything with it at this point. Then we drop back down to using the layout that we linked up. I just clear that out. In my case, I'm using some code from my game that I had written. So you don't really need to necessarily clear it out first. And we link up our main custom view to that layout. We add it. Pretty simple there. See, the key thing here is where we use this layout listener, add on global layout listener. And then you can see the actual code here. And what this does is actually start the whole process off once it gets the size of the screen, which is down here. I'm sending a custom function that I've written inside my view where it gets the size of the screen, and that's what will be the main boot off point from everything. This is where it calculates the actual screen size before finalizing the view itself. And an important factor here is you want to check your SDK version because there are a few different ways to do things. Let me go to the custom view here. Pretty simple. All I'm doing here is getting that screen size from the initialize function that I had written and saving that information. I just make two strings basically. In the case of my game, I was calculating a tile size for the screen itself, which would be different for every single screen. That's why I wanted to get that information before starting the view fully. And we've got a standard draw function, which you override. This is where I draw that information about screen size. Pretty simple. Like I said, all of the code you can get through the GitHub link or on my website, which is basically to the GitHub. And I have just a sample of what you would see once you run it. In this case, this emulated device has this size screen. It's not 1920 because it's excluding this special button area, which is drawn in this case on that device. So that's pretty much it. Hope you found this useful. It took me quite a while to figure that out, but it's a good way to get that screen information before finishing off that view. So this is Scott from The Way of Coding. Thanks.